Yo guys, welcome back to the channel. This past few days or weeks, I've been playing nothing but the Adventure Synchron deck that I just showed you guys in my most recent video. And in that video, I also did say that I was gonna make a video showing you guys all of the combos, all of the combo lines that I know, and some freestyling tips that I can give you. I do highly suggest that you watch this video all the way through the end if you really want to learn how to play Synchron Adventure in Master Duel. Anyway, let's just jump right into the video. I'm gonna show you guys some combo lines and gonna give you guys some freestyling tips as well using this deck in order to help you learn the deck better and play the deck better. That being said, let's just get into it. I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, so with this hand right here, we can go two routes. We can go Revolution Synchro route, but for this time, we're gonna play the Jet Synchron route with the Water Enchantress. So first, if we do have Jabel Star or Fenrir, you can go ahead and activate Fenrir Special Summon itself. Or if that's a Jabel Star, then it's also good. But with this is why I love Fenrir. You can search Unicorn. And if they ash the search of Unicorn, then that's already one negate down. That's already one hand trap down. But if they do activate draw right here, just do keep in mind, it kind of hurts because we do have a lot of stuff that we need to get into our hand with this type of cards in the hand. So do be careful with using Fenrir. Normally, I won't search right there because we do need Small World in case they activate Max C. So we can activate Small World. We target the Unicorn. We target the Draw and Lock. Look at how many key cards we can get just from Unicorn and Duel and Lock. We can get Ash, we can get Enchantress, we can get Rebel Star if we need. So right now, we do need to get Ash just in case they use a Maxi. We do have a protection. So that is why Small World is just so good. Most of the monsters that we have in this deck is a bridge to one another. Just like what you saw there. That's why Small World is just really, really good. We activate Foolish Burial here, Water Enchantress. Alright, so if this gets Ash, Water Enchantress, it's fine because we can go Junk Servant line, which I'm going to show you guys later on. But for now, we're going to focus on the main play, the Jet Synchron plus the Rite of Realizayah, and with the level 7. So activate Rite of Realizayah right here. See? There you go. Activating the Maxi. This is why I chose this bot because it has hand traps like Imperm and Maxi. That's why you always want to search Ash right there. Because Master Duel, Maxi, yeah, it's a pain in the ass. Search an Ash, and yeah, bye-bye Maxi, just like that. Anyway, activate Synchro Overtake. Get a Jet Synchron in the field. Activate Fateful Adventure. Then we get the Draco back. No, don't equip. Also, we can do this route if we have Jabel Star instead. We can throw Revolution Synchro. Go for Jabel Star here, get the Sinful Spoils, and then we get this. We get the Wandering Griffin Rider, and then we drop the equip spell. Activate the equip spell, and then equip it to the Adventure token. Then we can activate the Sinful Spoils, then remove the Draco back, get the Jet Synchron, and it's still the same place. Next, we're gonna special summon Wandering Griffin Rider. So with this is my favorite line, by the way, because with this line right here, we are protected against Nibiru or Imperm because this next line in the combo is very, very crucial. So we activate, Synchro Summon Jet Synchron and Fenrir or Jabel Star if you have that in the field instead. The accel Synchro Stardust Dragon, activate accel Synchro, and then we go get Jet Synchron in the graveyard. Now they can Imperm this right here. And with our hand, we still do have Revolution Synchro. We can go Baron de Fleur instead. Then we can special summon Revolution Synchro and use that as a level 1 tuner. And the token, that's a level 5, we go Junk Speeder. With this hand, it really doesn't matter if they Imperm us, but we do have a protection right here with Griffin. But in case they don't have Imperm, there we go. That's a full combo already. We activate this. Now, this is a very, very vulnerable spot in the combo because right here, without the Griffin Rider, they can just Nibiru us. This is way more than 5 summons already. And normally, at this point, you already committed the 5th summon with the Jet Synchron without the Griffin Rider. And this is the most vulnerable spot. They can just Nibiru us right here. So having a Griffin here really helped so that this play can go through no matter what. Get Stardust. Using Jet Synchron and the token, we make a Junk Speeder right here. Activate Junk Speeder. Don't need to activate Jet Synchron. But since we only have 3 slots here, we're not gonna get Assault Synchron, but instead we're gonna get Jet Synchron. We're gonna get Revolution Synchron, and then we're gonna get Stardust Synchron. And if ever that we did activate Griffin, in case they nebired us just at the right moment, then we negated with Griffin, then we can get our Assault Synchron, and it's still the same combo, nothing changes. Activate the Stardust Synchron, get the Illumination. If they nibiru us right here, then it's fine. We already have so many bodies in the field and in the graveyard. We can just activate Jet Synchron, bring it back in the field, and then Nibiru is a level 11 token. Then we can just use that, make a Crimson Dragon, and so on and so forth. We still have Stardust Synchron. We still have Revolution Synchron in the graveyard. And also, we have Stardust Illumination. So, yeah, I think it's basically done at that point. Do keep in mind, guys, that the more hand traps that we play through with this deck, the more our goal is easier to accomplish. The lesser cards that they have in their hand, by using hand traps, the more effective our deck will be. That's why it's very important to play through hand traps with this deck. And that's why Small World, I think, is really good. Because it's just a free negate with Ash against the Max C. Using Revolution Synchro in the field. And using Junk Speeder, we Synchro Summon into Crystal Wing. That is our first monster negate. If ever they still have a monster negate that I haven't used yet. Or monster hand trap. And next, we're going to activate Stardust Illumination. We're going to summon our Stardust Trail right here. Synchro Summon Jet Synchron and the Stardust Trail into TG Hyper Librarian. Librarian is just broken. It gets so many draws, and drawing into our hand traps and probably even extenders. It's just so good. There's just so many things we can do with TG Hyper Librarian drawing us cards. We're gonna Synchro Summon Crimson Dragon using Stardust Dragon and the Stardust Synchron. Say goodbye to our Royal Finish Stardust Dragon. Crimson Dragon in the field. So next, this is why it doesn't matter if this is Wandering Griffin Rider or it's Assault Synchron, because you're gonna tribute it anyway. Special summon Stardust Synchron, activate Stardust Trail in the grave. Keep in mind, we haven't committed our normal summon just yet. Alright, so what I do want to use first at this point is use Jet Synchron, because I want to minimize the possibility of drawing into the second Stardust Synchron or milling the second Stardust Synchron using Revolution Synchro's effect. Special summon itself. And using Jet Synchron and Stardust Trail, we make an Accel Synchro Stardust Dragon. This is why we don't want to mill our second Stardust Synchron or draw our second Stardust Synchron, because we are going to need that for this player right here. So activate Stardust Trail in the Banish Zone. Get a token. So this is basically the same combo in the first video that I did. We're going to activate Accel Synchro here. We throw our Stardust Synchron in the graveyard. Increase its level by 9. Activate Crimson Dragon. Target the Accel Synchron. We get Trishula. Activate the effect of Trishula. So using Accel Synchro and the Stardust token, we can Synchro Summon our Baronne de Fleur. That is our second negate and our first Omni negate. And from here, look, we can even use Triple Tactics Talent. That's how good TG Hyper Librarian is. We can activate Triple Tactics Talent. And guess what? That's another card ripped from their hand. That's how good this... And Triple T is just really good in this deck. Next, now we can activate our Revolution Synchro. We don't mind whatever card Revolution Synchro mills. Young Servant, doesn't matter. We already have our full play anyway. Synchro Summon into Bestial Dispatter. Using the Revolution Synchro and the Trishula, we go into our Dispatter, our second monster negate. Look at that, 3 maxi, holy shit. And last, we activate Stardust Illumination in the graveyard, banish it, decrease the level of Stardust Synchron, make it into level 3, Synchro Summon, what was that? Stardust Synchron and the TG Hyper Librarian, sorry about that. Then go into Cyframe Lord Omega. Activate Cyframe Lord Omega. There we go. Banish one more. Then activate Dispatter. We get Omega back. And we get to discard one more card. So let's say they didn't activate Maxi and I didn't activate Triple Tactics Talent. They will have 2 cards in their hand right now. And if they draw, that will be 3 cards going into their turn. And we have 3 negates. We have 1 Omni negate and 2 monster negates. And that is the first combo, the Jet Synchron and the Rite of Aramesir. Plus, of course, the Wandering Griffin Rider, which is just so good. Accel Synchro is also a protection for Junk Speeder, making it unaffected. But before we reach that point, we are protected by Wandering Griffin Rider. That's why this is my favorite line. Alright, so this is where it actually matters that you draw Stardust Synchron. So let's say at this point you did draw Stardust Synchron, or you already have it in your first 5 cards in the hand, or if ever that you milled it using Revolution Synchron. Basically, the context is you don't have Stardust Synchron in the deck in order to throw in the graveyard using accel Synchron. What you can do, you can activate accel Synchron, throw the Revolution Synchron, increase it to level 8, and then even worse scenario is that you also have Revolution Synchron in your hand. You drew it, you have it in your first 5 cards. Then what you can do here, this is a level 5, make it into Stardust Charge Warrior, Synchro Summon Charge Warrior, and the Stardust Synchron into Baronne de Fleur, activate Crimson Dragon, get the Spatter, and that's about it because there's nothing much else that we can do with with that type of hand. But moving on, we Synchro Summon Accel Synchro and the token. We get a Ravenous Croco Dragon. Then we draw cards. Alright, so in this case, this is how good EG Hyper Librarian and how good this deck is when it comes to extending and stuff. The amount of plays that you can do as long as you keep drawing cards and having resources in your hand. So in this case, in this scenario, we have Synchro Overtake. We drew Synchro Overtake, right? What we can do here, we can activate Crimson Dragon, target the Croco Dragon, and get Trishula. That's a 1-hand rip. And then we activate Synchro Overtake, use the Jet Synchron, and then the Ravenous Croco Dragon, and then we get a Baronne de Fleur. And then we still have Revolution Synchro in the graveyard. We can use that and Trishula into the Spatter. And then, yeah, you know the combo. But let's just say we didn't draw this. Right? Let's just say we didn't draw Synchro Overtake. What you can do here, activate Revolution Synchro. Synchro Summon into Baronne de Fleur. Using the Croco Dragon and the Revolution Synchro. Make a Baronne de Fleur. Activate Crimson Dragon. Target Baronne. We get the Spatter. Activate Illumination. Decrease Stardust Synchron level into 3. And you know the play. Omega Hand Rip. There you go. Omega Hand Rip. Spatter, Omega, you know the combo. So yeah, there you go, guys. Drawing Stardust Synchron isn't the end of the world for this deck. It's far from it. So yeah, there you have it, guys. That is what you can do when you draw Stardust Synchron in your hand, or you already have it in your starting 5. Alright, so for the next combo, we're gonna use Revolution Synchro and the Water Enchantress. This is my second favorite in the combo line. We can bait out an Ash with Wanted, if ever they have Ash. Then we can freely activate our Water Enchantress. This is quite a vulnerable hand against Maxi. So if they have Maxi, well, we'll find out right here, right now. Activate Rite of Ramesir. Special summon. Oh, they don't have Maxi. Great. Get Fateful Adventure. Next, we're gonna normal summon a Revolution Synchro. Activate Fateful Adventure. Get the Draco back. Activate Fateful Adventure. We get the Wandering Griffin Rider. We can use our Jabel Star if we wanted to. But in this case, let's say we don't have Jabel Star. We don't need to activate this, by the way. So we activate Griffin Rider. Special summon in the field. That's our third. Revolution Synchro, and then the Wandering Griffin Rider. We Synchro summon into Baronne de Fleur. So that is our protection already. That's 1 negate. We can activate Revolution Synchro. Next, we're gonna Synchro summon using Revolution Synchro, that is a level 1, and Adventure Token into a Junk Speeder. And Junk Speeder effect, activate, get our Synchrons, activate Stardust Synchron, get Illumination. I prefer to have Assault Synchron here and Revolution Synchro on the other side, but it doesn't really matter that much. It just changes up the order of the end board, but it doesn't matter that much. So next, we Synchro summon Stardust Charge Warrior using Jet Synchron and the Junk Speeder. We also get to draw 1 card off of the effect Stardust Charge Warrior. Next, we're gonna Synchro summon accel Synchro Stardust Dragon using Assault Synchron and Stardust Charge Warrior. Then we activate Accel's effect. We get our Jet Synchron back. Activate Illumination. Special summon Trail. Synchro summon into TG Hyper Librarian using Jet Synchron and Trail again. Next, we activate Accel Synchro. Tribute itself. Special summon a Stardust Dragon. Using Stardust Dragon and the Stardust Synchron, we Synchro Summon into Crimson Dragon. Oh, what, bro, I said that so weird. Crimson Dragon. What the fuck did I say that so weird? We get to draw 2 cards off of TG Hyper Librarian's effect. Next, we're gonna activate Assault Synchron. We're gonna chain that. Special summon our accel. No need to activate Trail for now. This is where we freestyle right here. There are a couple of routes that we can go to with this board right here and with this hand. It really relies on how you can freestyle and what cards you draw off of TG Hyper Librarian. But we did have a Jabel Star from the beginning. I think we did, right? We activated a Wanted at first. Yeah. So we already did have a Jabel Star. So I think we can go into a next level play here. And if I did show you every single possibility that there is, this video is probably gonna take an hour because there's just so many things you can do with this deck. It's crazy. With the knowledge of the deck or each card that you have in your deck, that's how you can freestyle effectively. But let's just say all of these cards are trash. We can activate our Stardust Illumination. This is the safest we can go to. We can activate Stardust Illumination right here. We can target our Accel Stardust Synchron, make it into a level 9. Sorry, Accel Stardust Dragon, make it into a level 9. Activate Crimson Dragon. Go into Trish. Shula activate effect. Next, we can get our Jet Synchron. We can throw away our Triple T. And by using Accel Synchro and the Jet Synchron, or we can even use Trishula, whichever one, it doesn't really matter that much. We can get into Bestial Dispatter. And what we can do next is we can Synchro Summon our Revolution Synchro and the TG Hyper Librarian. And now that we have Crystal Wing in the field, we have 3 negates on board. We have 1 Omni Negate and 2 Monster Negates. Last piece is we activate Stardust Synchron. We tribute our Trishula. Get Stardust Synchron in the field. Activate Stardust Trail. Get it in the field as well. Now we Synchro Summon into Cyframe Lord Omega using these 2 cards that we special summon from the grave. And we didn't even have to use our cards in the hand. So yeah, that's just crazy. Still, rip 3 cards from the enemy's hand. Activate Omega right there. Activate the Spatter. Get it back. And this is the 3rd hand rip. That's just crazy. That is the Revolution Synchro plus the Rite of Realizayah combo. There is so much freestyle possibility with this line of combo compared to the other one. But that other one is just much more protected. It's just way more effective to bait out negates and stuff like that. But this is the 2nd best in my opinion. These are the 2 lines that I prefer over the Herald line. But the Herald line is also really strong and does require quite a bit of freestyling as well, depending on what cards you have in your hand. One of the things that come up quite often is you draw Stardust Trail. It's one of the cards that you don't want to draw, since I already showed an example of what line you can do or what combo route you can go for if you draw the Stardust Synchron. This time, I'm going to show you what happens if you draw the Stardust Trail. So in this case, we have Small World, we have Foolish Burial. We can go into Revolution Synchro so easily here. So we activate Small World, we target the Maxi, we can target the Junk Servant, or we can target the Fenrir with whichever Earth monster that you choose. It's still fine, it's still going to go into Revolution Synchro. But in this case, let's say we choose Fenrir, we get the Revolution Synchro. But if we did get Ash there, what we can do instead, we can use Foolish Burial, we can drop the Jet Synchron, then go from there. Junk Speeder, it's really vulnerable. It really depends on what you have in your hand. This is why freestyling in this deck is really important. So in this case, we drop Enchantress, activate Enchantress, we get the Rite, activate Rite or Realizayah, get the token, get the Fateful Adventure, then normal summon Revolution Synchro. We go for Stardust Charge Warrior here. Most of the time when you draw Stardust Trail, it just means that you're not gonna go into TG Hyper Librarian. But other than that, it's basically still the same. Activate Accel Synchro Stardust Dragon, activate Assault Synchron, get Accel Synchro back, activate Stardust Trail. Alright, so from here, we Synchro Summon Jet Synchron, Accel Synchron, draw a card. You can activate Jet Synchron, remove the Illumination, activate this, target the Croc, get Trishula, activate Trish. Alright, so next we Synchro Summon into Bestial Dispatter using Jet Synchron and Trishula. We activate Stardust Synchron in the grave. We get rid of the Revolution Synchro. Stardust Synchron and Stardust Trail. Go into Omega. And that's 2 hand loop. That's still 3 hand loop with Stardust Trail in the hand. But then again, it really just depends on what you have in your hand and how are you gonna freestyle it. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I just freestyled this on the spot while recording the video. Sometimes, if you don't need the normal summon, if you go to the Jet Synchron line, you don't need normal summon, Synchro Overtake, plus the probably even Sinful Spells and all that stuff. You can just normal summon Stardust Trail, synchro that into TG Hyper Librarian, still gets the effect and all of that stuff. Still, you don't want to draw it just like the Stardust Synchron, but there are plenty of ways that you can play around it. It really just depends on the hand that you have. As you can see here, it's not a problem at all. It's still a 3-card hand loop. Alright, so this combo line is called the Herald line. So we normal summon Enchantress. We activate Synchro Overtake. Special summon a Jet Synchron. And we turbo Herald of the Arclight. This is why this is called the Herald line. So the perks of doing this line is that we are protected with Herald's negate. And not only that, we're also protected from other hand traps that needs to be discarded, like Droll and Lockbird, Effect Veiler, and Max C, but they can just imperm the Herald of Arclight if ever. But you can still use the Herald of Arclight as an extender of sorts if ever it gets negated by imperm. Deactivate Water Enchantress. Get the Rite of Ramsir. Get a token in the field. Get Faithful Adventure. Alright, so now this is where things get tricky. With this specific line, with Herald in the field, you do need spell cards in your hand because you can't discard a monster card. So you can't activate Jet Synchron if you only have monsters in your hand. And since you've already committed a normal summon, you can't normal summon another Jet Synchron if you have another in your hand. And that's why this is not my favorite line, although it's still really strong because of Herald's protection. I kind of messed up the first Herald line, so I had to redo it. And yeah, so this is one of the examples why Small World is just so good. You don't need Griffin Rider, just go for Jug Speeder straight up. Special summon the 4 tuners that we have. Get the Illumination. Synchro summon into Stardust Charge Warrior. Using Assault Synchron and Stardust Charge Warrior, we go into accel Synchro Stardust Dragon. Special summon the OG Stardust Dragon. Use the Stardust Synchron and the Stardust Dragon into Crimson Dragon. Activate Assault Synchron. No need to activate Trail just yet. Alright, so from here, you can activate Stardust Illumination. Target the accel Synchro Stardust Dragon. Decrease its level this time. Then we go into Baronne de Fleur. Activate Crimson Dragon. Target Baronne. Special summon this batter. So the thing with this line is we can't rely on Revolution Synchro because if it doesn't discard into the graveyard, it won't special summon itself. We can test the theory. Activate Revolution Synchro. Let's hope it's not a monster. Oh, there you go. It's a monster seed. There you go. That is what happens if you use Revolution Synchro and you mill a monster card while Herald of the Arclight is in the field. That's why it's not reliable to use that. You also can go accel because the same thing is going to happen with accel Synchron. So from here, activate Stardust Synchron. Get rid of the TG Hyper Librarian. Activate Trail in the graveyard. Synchro summon into Omega. And yeah, we go rip 2 cards from their hand. But what makes this really strong is because we have Herald early on. And if we activate the effect of Herald, then we can go into accel Synchron, can go into Revolution, extend. If ever they didn't do anything, we rip 2 cards from their hand. We have 2 Omni Negates. We have 1 Monster Negate. And how many cards do we have? Yeah, there you have it, guys. That is the Herald line. Hey guys, I'm gonna cut this video into a 2-part series because all of these combo lines into one video is just gonna take so long, and it's not even all of the possible combo lines and stuff, all of the possible freestyles and stuff. So yeah, that's it for part 1, all the major combos that you can do. I'll see you all in part 2. Peace.